Hey guys, Tonight Marine here with another story time. Today we're going to talk about my very first wrestling match. Very first one ever. I was a sophomore. I didn't wrestle my junior year or my freshman year. I started sophomore year, so it's my very first match. We had done practice, like practice matches and stuff, but the very first time that you like the very first match that you have is kind of like a kind of like a special deal, and you're very nervous, like because you don't quite know what to expect. Like for some reason, I thought like the intensity and like the pace of it, I guess, was going to be different than my like the practice matches that we'd had, but ended up not being the case. It ended up being different, certainly, and you'll find out why. But for whatever reason, in my head, and I tend to build things up in my head, kind of bigger than they are. Maybe that's what it was. But either way, I was nervous as hell. I remember everything about this match. I remember what the kid looks like. I remember exactly which mat I was on and which school I was in. It was it ended up being a good day. I was all right. I didn't win anything. Got my ass beat all around, but it was definitely a good learning experience. So you go in a wrestling tournament. If you've never wrestled or you've never been to a tournament, the wrestlers' names will get called, and you go down to the whatever mat they tell you to go to, and then you go and you check in with the table, and you could say, so and so with whatever school checking in, and they'll be like, okay, and they'll have you hang out. And during this time, I found that I was always sizing up my opponents, like because I didn't know any of these people. I'd never been in like the wrestling like arena, for a long time. Some of the kids that I wrestled with, they'd wrestled their entire lives, and so they knew fucking everybody basically. But for me, that wasn't the case. I just decided on a whim. A couple of my friends wrestled, and they're like, "Hey, man, you should join. You should do it." And I did, and I ended up enjoying it. But it made it where I didn't know anybody, and so I was always sizing up my opponent, trying to get a read on them. And you're looking, of course, to see how in shape they are. Do they look nervous? Are they just super confident? And this kid just looked like a cocky motherfucker, and but I didn't really know what to think of him. I mean, he was in good shape, as most high schoolers are, I think. Uh, Not always by any stretch, but I think the ones in wrestling in my weight class, I wrestled 152, um, tend to be in decent shape anyway. And so I was sizing him up, and didn't really know what to think, but he definitely looked cocky. Like, you can just look at somebody and get that vibe that they're a bunch of assholes. That's the vibe I got from him. But anyway, the match in front of us ended, and it was our turn, or my turn anyway. So I go, you check in. They put at the time, maybe it's different, but they put things around our ankles, which were colors, green and red, so that if the green, and I don't remember, the one thing I really don't remember about that match was which color I was. So for instance, say I was green. If I score a point, the ref has green on one wrist and around his wrist and red on the other. He raises it and puts up, 2 points for green. So that's how they score, and that's how he lets the judges know what score it is. So they give me those, put those on. I go out there. I'm nervous. I know I'm shaking. You got the adrenaline, you kind of got the little jitters going. And shake hands with him, and the ref kind of does a little speech, clean match, no, don't hit each other in the junk, don't bite, all that kind of thing. And then he dropped his hand between us, told us, go or whatever. And all of a sudden, the kid just fucking threw a right hook and caught me right in the fucking nose. Just a full-on right hook, decked me right in the nose. And I stumbled back because you don't fucking hit in high school wrestling. You just don't. It's collegiate wrestling. You don't hit somebody. And so I stumbled back. I don't know what's going on. And the kid drives forward into me and picks me up. And he basically spears me, and he picked me up off the ground and then slammed me on the ground. And like the slam didn't hurt. Like ended up not being that strong. But so what happened is when he had caught me, he fucking busted something up in my nose, and I just started bleeding. And so after he speared me, they took me off. And in wrestling, you have blood time and injury time. And I had used up. So if you get a bloody nose or something, you use up your blood time first. And so I'd used up all my blood time, which I don't remember how long the timer was, but my nose would not stop bleeding. And he had just hit me just right. Like, it didn't really hurt at all, but he just hit me the right way. And I don't bleed when I get hit in the nose. Like, I'm not one of those people that, the wind fucking shifts directions and they get a bloody nose. That's not me. So he had to have just caught me just right. And so I'm using all my blood time. My coach is like, I don't know what to fucking do. He's like, we may have to. I remember him telling our other coach, he's like, we may have to get the firefighters down here because he's not stopping bleeding. I used up all my blood time, and I was running into my injury time. And once your injury time's up, then the match is forfeited and you lose. And luckily, they just started shoving my toilet paper up there, and it stopped. Finally stopped to the point where I could get back into it. I had less than 30 seconds left of my injury time. And so I get back up. By this point, I don't know how much blood I lost, but I lost enough where I was pale and I was super weak. And the ref, the thing is for some reason, the ref didn't he took a point away from this kid, but he didn't disqualify him for punching me in the fucking face. He didn't disqualify him. Like, really? Seriously? Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, it was the most annoying thing. But anyway, so we get back up, and we go back, and I start in the down position, and I'm able to stand up and get out of his fucking thing. But I was so weak. Like, he was not a strong kid. He looked strong, but he wasn't. And so I was able to get out from the bottom, and then he just kind of speared into me again, and I was so weak and lightheaded at this point that I just said, fuck it, and I quit. And I just lay there and let him pin me. And that was like I think it was only pinned one other time in the next 3 years. Like, I never got pinned. And afterwards, I'm just like, what the fuck? And I asked my coach after the fact, I was like, so was he supposed to hit you? He's like, no, I'm gonna fucking talk to that goddamn ref. Like, he was super pissed. Cause like, man, yeah, one, you don't hit people in collegiate wrestling, and two, fuck you don't hit people in collegiate wrestling. And the fact that he didn't disqualify him was bullshit. And everybody saw it. My teammates get up there, and they're like, dude, that was crazy. Because they were all watching, from the stands. And I'm like, I know. I was like, it completely caught me off guard. I didn't know what to do. Oh, God. It was fucking crazy. I never wrestled him again, but I saw him get his ass beat a few times. He was not very good. And I don't know what it was. I don't know why he hit me, but he did, so fuck him. But all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully, if you wrestle, you don't have the same sort of experience because it sucked. And I'll see you next time. 7-5. Hey, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. All the links that you need to get in contact with me are down below. Facebook being the best one to contact me. I'm on my phone all the time, so it's just easiest for me to be able to get back to you with your variety of questions that you guys have. And yeah, if you need anything, by all means, hit me up. So please hit that subscribe button so you can keep in tune with future videos. And I'll see you later. Peace.